shooting on Thanksgiving night, quoting now, likely was not the... Now to an emotional plea for answers after an Alabama police department admits the man they killed during a mall shooting on Thanksgiving night, quoting now, likely was not the gunman. His family broke down as they described their son and brother, E.J. Bradford Jr., as a loving man who cared for his sick father and thought of others before himself. We are left with more questions than answers at this point during the investigation, with police releasing few details from the incident so far, and his family sharing a heartbreaking account saying police never called to let them know of EJ's death. They say they learned everything through social media, and now they are demanding an apology, accountability, and the release of all videos from the incident. Here is one of EJ's brothers.
We weren't even contacted. I had to get on Facebook, see a video of him shot, bleeding. No police officers covered him up at all. I would never see him come through the house anymore. You know, tell him, hey, be careful out in these streets. Give him a word of advice or anything, and you guys just took him. In the Hoover Police Department, you guys dropped the ball in a major way. Seriously. And for you not to even call and give your condolences shows what type of character that the mayor and Hoover PD has for our family. This family would never be the same at all, and it hurts me.
CNN's Natasha Chen joins me right now, and then there's deafening silence coming from the police or even the mayor or anyone to respond to this family.
And we've asked a lot of questions to the police over the last couple of days. Still no response to those questions. I also spoke with Benjamin Crump again on the phone. That's the family's attorney after he spoke here on the air within the past hour. Just to clarify that the 18-year-old and 12-year-old who were injured in this incident on Thanksgiving were taken to the hospital. We actually do not know their conditions right now. Now, the Bradford family also said that they have obtained video of the incident that shows exactly what happened and how EJ was shot. Mr. Crump, their attorney, says they're considering releasing this video themselves while also calling on police to release all the surveillance video they have. Now, both of EJ Jr.'s parents are deeply upset, especially because police have not contacted the family since this happened.
It hurts me to the core. My son is gone. I can't get him back. But you vilified my son like he's a straight criminal.
Nobody even took the time or had the decency to notify me of my son's death. Instead, it's flashed all over social media. There is no way that any parent should have to find out the death of their child.
This all started because police said there was a fight of some kind at the mall on Thanksgiving night, resulting in two people being shot, that 18-year-old and 12-year-old. They initially told the public one of their officers working off-duty as mall security shot and killed the man responsible. But then they issued a statement late Friday, early Saturday, saying the person they killed, E.J. Bradford Jr., was likely not responsible for injuring the others, but that they believe he was involved somehow in that altercation. Police are still looking for at least one gunman responsible for that shooting. The family's attorney said they're not planning any protest at this moment, but another group is. They will be gathering, Fred, at the Hoover Police Department tomorrow night.
All right, let us know what you learn. Thank you so much. All right, last hour I spoke to prominent civil rights attorney Benjamin Crump, who is now representing EJ's family, and he was also joined by EJ's father, Emantic Bradford Sr., and here's what they had to say.
It's frustrating because I feel like you should have reached out to me and his mother, but nobody did, and that's not protocol for you just to do something, kill my child, and not respond when we calling you.
Mr. Bradford knows his son. Mr. Bradford is battling cancer. He's retiring this week, upcoming from the Birmingham Police Department. His son would leave work after a full day of working and come and check on his father every day. So Mr. Bradford and his mother, April, knew that this wasn't true about their son shooting somebody. And the whole notion that they would unjustifiably pull the trigger and release this information is almost as worse as the Hoover police officer who unjustifiably saw a black man with a gun and made a decision within milliseconds, according to witnesses, to shoot him in his face. They don't even know if they can have an open casket funeral. And so it's just troubling when you see this pattern, whether it's Jamel Robinson in Chicago or now here in Birmingham, the epicenter of the civil rights movement, where this suggestion by the top leaders in our country that if the good guys had guns, maybe they could help with some of these mass shooters of the bad guys who have guns. Where if you're black and you're a good guy with a gun, the police doesn't see you as a good guy. They just see you as a criminal and they shoot and kill you. And that is what is devastating to Mr. Bradford, who himself is part of the law enforcement family.
Damn. I didn't know he retired that same week. Sheesh.
I'm across the street from the mall where the shooting happened. It has since reopened, and the family of Emantic Bradford tells me he had a permit to carry a gun, and they believe he was rushing to help others when he was shot by police.
And it hurts me to the core. My son is gone. I can't get him back.
This morning, the heartbroken parents of a man killed at the mall demanding answers.
Thanksgiving will never be the same for me. It'll never be the same. That's the day I lost my son.
21-year-old Emantic Bradford Jr. shot dead Thanksgiving night by an unidentified uniformed police officer working security at the mall. Videos posted to social media showing the chaos after a fight erupted in gunfire. Police initially fingering Bradford as the suspect, saying he shot an 18-year-old man and a 12-year-old girl.
He basically said he was walking around the mall, waving a gun, running, trying to escape. My child would never pull a weapon.
A day later, Hoover police backpedaled, admitting they shot the wrong person, saying in part, new evidence now suggests that while Mr. Bradford may have been involved in some aspect of the altercation, he likely did not fire the rounds that injured the 18-year-old victim. This information indicates that there is at least one gunman still at large. At a press conference with the family, their attorney, Ben Crump, accusing police of a rush to judgment.
They concluded their investigation while EJ was laying on the mall floor, shot in the face, bleeding out, dying.
His words too much for the victim's grandmother.
No justice!
The shooting sparking protest at the mall. His parents insisting they'll keep fighting.
A gunman is still at large after a shooting inside an Alabama mall, and now police are saying they may have shot the wrong man. One man was killed by police, but officers say he's not the person who originally shot and wounded two others. Right now, investigators think a fight outside a shoe store may have sparked all of the violence there. The man killed by police has been identified as 21-year-old Emantic Fitzgerald Bradford Jr. His aunt says he was a former member of the Army.
I found out about it on Facebook, and then I called my brother, and it was terrible. And my brother is sick now. He's a cancer patient, and he's sick, and his mom's, and that's his mother's only child. They didn't have to take him like that. He was not the shooter, and he's out here at large. Why are the police not out here trying to get him? Whoever that person is.
Friends and family of the victim gathered today outside the mall to protest and demand justice. One protester called for a boycott of the mall, while others carried banners demanding a stop to gun violence.
Breaking news overnight, shots were fired inside this Alabama mall, sending frantic shoppers running for their lives. And ABC's Adrian Bankert has the story.
Overnight, reports of a shooting at an Alabama mall packed with Black Friday shoppers leaves one dead and several others hurt. It was sheer chaos outside a department store.